Hello everyone, my name is Manon Petrini.
My name is Laura van der Zijde.
And my name is Vanessa Moore.
We are the creative vloggers from D12. So in today's vlog we will explain you the top 3 things we believe marketers need to understand about the consumer and their behavior. Understanding consumer behavior is very important for any organization before launching a new product. If the organization fails to understand and analyze how a consumer will respond to this new product, well, the company will face losses.
In week 1 we talked about motivation, ability, opportunity, getting to know the course, and we talked about vlogging. In week 2 we talked about exposure, attention, perception and comprehension. Week 3 was about the high and low effort, and week 4 was about consumer diversity. In week 5 we talked about post-dissonance, decision and regret. So in week 6 we talked about trends in consumer behavior, and finally we ended in week 7 with social influences on consumer behavior. Based on this, our top 3 lessons are:
Week 2, exposure, attentions, perceptions and comprehension.
Week 4, the consumer diversity.
And week 5, post-dissonance, decision and regret.
So in week 2 we learned about how marketers uses our senses to influence our consumer behavior. And this is the perception part of marketing. We perceive through our senses, through vision, taste, smell, hear and touch.
Yes, I agree. We could also see that every brand uses the senses in a different way. For example, when we went to the sports shop, we could see that the music was very energetic and lively. And in the Lush shop, where we could smell, this was really nice, soft smells.
So we learned these lessons that there are sensory signals that become a big element of the brand. This can be a color, this can be a shape, or this can be a sound. This influences consumer behavior because it appeals to a part of the brain which controls our emotions and our memory. So consumers acquire knowledge by direct experience. This is important because information acquired from experience is more vivid and therefore easier to remember. So when you actually experience a product through your sense, you will be more triggered to remember a product and of course more triggered to buy a product. What I think is most important for marketers is to find the right balance for triggering our senses. Because for example, some people are more triggered by smell and the other more through taste. So marketers really should define sense for their own target market. I agree. So Manon, can you tell me something more about week 4?
Yes, of course. So in vlog 3, we study the personality, the lifestyle and the value of consumer. But there's other aspect very important in consumer behavior that marketers should be aware of. So marketers segment their targets by their age. That means different generation, different need. The logic is that people from the same age are going through a similar life experience, and therefore they're sharing common needs, memories, symbol and experience. So in turn to lead it to a similar consumption. This is why marketer needs to adapt from ages. So the tips that I would give to marketers is, for me, millennials, to put more ads on social media, because this is where they can attract and change the behavior of young people. So marketers need also to have a huge focus on the region and country they're working on. You know why? Because we saw in class that there's individualism or collectivist society. There's also masculine or feminine society. And there's also horizontal or vertical orientation. So the marketers always have to put a good focus on that and don't do mistakes.
One of the top classes was about decision making. What stood out the most for us was the type of satisfactions, like the post-decision dissonance. This is when a consumer or a customer goes to the shop to buy something and afterwards feels like, oh, I made a wrong decision. So this was something that really stood out for me in the classes, because this was something I've experienced myself. And in class we also did an activity whereby people had to think of situations where this has happened before. And what we do notice is that this has happened to almost all the students before. So our tip for marketers is that they should really provide good information, clear information for people that want to buy something, especially the type of consumers that feel uncertain about products. It's important for marketers to know this type of people and to differentiate them as well. And to give them also truthful information so that they can trust the product and the marketeer. And the most important concept from that class was the feeling-based dissonance. This is when a customer feels a positive or a negative experience after they have bought the product. Of course, one could always experience this, and marketers cannot always do something about it, but they can try and influence it by giving a good after service, a good customer service in the shops, and offering high quality product. So these were our top 3 lessons. On number 1 we have the post dissonance, on number 2 we have the senses, and on number 3 we have the consumer diversity.
We hope you liked it, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you.